I laugh in the face of danger. Then I hide until it goes away.
For I am Xander, king of Cretans. May all lesser Cretans bow before me. Hi, everyone. This is Carrie and Chad. We're here with In Every Generation, which is a Buffy rewatch podcast where we rewatch an episode of Buffy in chronological order and talk about it for a little bit. And this will be a spoiler episode. Our episodes will have spoilers. So if you have not seen like the entire show and probably maybe also Angel, although we'd probably give a warning before Angel spoilers, maybe go watch the show and then come back because it's excellent. But what's the episode we're covering today, Chad?
Well, first off, I think you do intros way better than I do, so maybe we'll just have you do it from now on. But yeah, we're covering season 1, episode 3, Witch.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Yeah, this episode is actually really great. I love this episode. I love how it kind of furthers some of the characters. Like we have Buffy's trying something new. She's trying to fit into the school rather than just having her calling of being the Slayer. She's still kind of pushing against that, but also trying to live in both worlds. We have Joyce, who is trying to connect with her daughter, but also trying to be a working mom, and she's finding it hard to connect with her daughter. You have Xander, who is dealing with a very big crush on the new girl in school, Buffy. And I guess we don't really get like too much development from like Willow and Giles, but
Willow is dealing with her own crush on Xander while Xander crushes on Buffy.
Yeah, I mean, I think we deal with that more in other episodes.
Definitely.
And this, it's just kind of like ever present there while he's crushing on Buffy. She's kind of like, well, I'm right here, kind of a deal. I've always been here. And, we wouldn't know until later the development of Willow's sexual relationship status. Is going to develop a lot over the course of the show.
Yeah.
And as well as Xander's and Buffy's and everyone. But with this one, we get a really interesting monster of the week. And it's right there in the title. It's a witch that we're dealing with. We get some new characters, or it's really just a couple.
We get Amy and her mom.
Yeah.
And Amy's mom is a witch at this point.
That we find out.
And has switched her body with her daughter Amy's body. And
it's kind of a cool little switch them up that they do. Because at first you think Amy might be doing this because the very first inciting incident that we get is they're doing the cheerleading tryouts and a girl catches on fire, like a spontaneous combustion kind of a deal. And they're trying to figure that out, and then they find out that it's just a witch is attacking people and trying to get on the cheerleading squad, because not only is it just a witch, but we get a lot of really deep mother-daughter relationship themes. We also get a lot of someone trying to hold on to their youth, and they're like, life didn't get better. So why not, go back to the past when I was truly happy and, trying to live vicariously through your child, things like that.
Yeah. And we get the parallel between the relationship between Amy and her mother, which is a very unhealthy relationship. And Amy's mother has a lot of unhealthy views about youth and aging and her relationship with her daughter. And in contrast, we have a parallel relationship between Buffy and her mom, Joyce, which is, they're obviously struggling to relate to one another, but it's definitely in a more healthy way. You can tell by the end of the episode.
Yeah, and it's so interesting, how they mirror it, where you see one starts off really unhealthy. I mean, of course, someone's taking over someone's body, which is the worst thing that you can do. And then in the other, it's Joyce trying to tell not tell Buffy what she should do, but kind of guide her in a path that she went on, not realizing that, Buffy kind of wants to do her own path, but then Buffy also not understanding that it's not okay to just insult things that your mother used to do. And it's kind of good for them both to understand each other. It's not like a one-way street, it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
This leads into a very amazing moment at the end when Buffy is thinking about Amy and her mom, and she's like, would you ever want to be 16 again? And then Joyce is like, not even if it would help me understand you.
Yeah.
Which is such a great line.
It
really kind of builds that foundation of their relationship that would get really deep as the show goes on and be very important in later seasons.
Yeah. And I think it's also realistic, like, children and their parents often have issues relating to each other, especially at the age that Buffy is, a teenager. So I do feel like I feel like it's an important component of the show, to show that relationship between Buffy and her mother and the different routes that parent-child relationships can take.
Yeah. And the cool thing about talking about the Scooby Gang is that we get to see more development of everyone in the gang, which is, Giles, Willow, Xander, and Buffy at this point. And we get to see, more of like what their roles are. It'll be retconned later on, but we get to see Giles apparently make his first spell or his first casting, as he says.
Really.
Not really, but he gets to do that. You got Willow, breaking into the school records to find out information, and you got Xander trying to help in his own way. Usually trying to get into that, masculine kind of territory where he's like gonna, handle it in his own dude kind of way. So we would be remiss if we didn't talk about Cordelia, who is a fan favorite character of both Buffy and Angel, actually, because she would go on to that other show that we might get to at some point. But in this episode, she's just trying to keep her status as cool, cheerleader, like top dog, kind of alpha, most popular queen of the school. And she's got people trying to hone in on their territory. I mean, Buffy she was popular in LA. Mm-hmm. Now she comes to a new school and she's trying to become new cheerleader, and Cordelia sees her like kind of coming into her territory. You got Amy, who is, not Amy, coming into her territory. And, so what do you think about Cordelia in this episode?
Cordelia's great. I mean, she is like definitely in her Mean Girl era at this time. But she brings, I think, a lot of great comic relief, and she's, a good foil to Amy and Buffy sort of towards the beginning and end of the episode. She has a lot of great lines in this. And we get to see that even after she gets blinded, it doesn't really change her attitude by the end of the episode.
Yeah, I mean, right now she's kind of very like one-dimensional, but that's not going to stay that way because Cordelia has so much depth in the show that I'm really excited to get to. But it's always fun seeing her on screen because she, like you said, she's a mean girl, but she is she's got that charm to her. You kind of go like, oh, Cordelia, kind of deal. Did we want to touch more on Xander's crush?
We can a little bit. Xander's definitely definitely awkward, a little creepy in this episode. He gives
creepy?
I don't know. He gives Buffy a bracelet, and it says something like I can't remember exactly. It says something you would have like in a relationship,
like be mine,
or like always yours, or something. Yeah. And he acknowledges that he's not approaching things the right way. Later in the episode, he's like, I need to just ask her out, but he doesn't, because they get distracted by the monster of the week.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things, like you can't blame him for having a crush, but it's just he's so awkward. It's just, as the audience that she's not going to reciprocate that. She doesn't like him in that way.
Yeah.
And they kind of play on that when, Xander says that Willow's one of the guys, and then Buffy says that Xander's one of the girls.
Yeah.
And so they're obviously all three friends and are going to stay friends. So it's a little weird when we have, the trio kind of break into, one liking the other kind of a deal, or two of them liking each other. And it is always a little awkward. So it's better when they kind of get out of that stage, because they all go on to have meaningful relationships in different ways. But here, it does lend to some of the humor of it, that he's kind of bumbling around trying to Willow, will you ask her out for me? There was that one amazing Willow line. Oh, he was like, we're kind of in a relationship or something like that. And she's like, yeah, without the hugging and the kissing and Buffy knowing about it.
Yeah. It's good. Willow kind of keeps Xander in check in this episode, make sure he doesn't
go full insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some really cool, great, funny moments in this episode. There's some scary moments. I think Amy's mom is actually pretty scary in the episode, when she's in her attic, casting spells. And then when she goes full crazy, black-eyed witch at the end of the episode, she gets pretty terrifying.
Yeah, she does.
And so yeah, I think Witch is one of those episodes that kind of shows what the show would become, as far as being that perfect blend of humor, drama, with great themes, but then also horror and being scary, and just being this really cool show, but also great writing. If there's nothing else, I mean, I think this pretty much covers it.
I think so too.
Well, we did also think about the thing where it kind of, this is one of the episodes that ends sort of in a tease that maybe we would see the villain come back.
Yeah, it's a very X-Files-y ending. They don't do this, I feel like, a ton in Buffy. There's definitely a few episodes where they do, and this is one of them. Usually, Monster of the Week episodes in Buffy, they either end with the monster's arc, kind of continuing, or the monster's kind of defeated. That's about it for that monster, at least for, the time being. But this one is a very, Amy's mom is still trapped in the statue, and she's trapped in there.
Well, I mean, I think it's a little bit of a blend of both. Yeah, she is essentially in there forever. I don't know. We're gonna get a continuation of Buffy, so I don't know if they revisit that or anything.
They do revisit it.
Yeah, I mean,
a little bit.
They show the trophy again, and someone talks about it, but she doesn't get out. Or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is a good blend of it, where it's kind of that all these things are kind of ever present, but also they can be kept at bay. The forces of evil will never go away, but they're kept at bay, kind of a deal. I think that's actually a good theme for the show too. Kind of that one battle after another type of thing. So that's anyways, I think we can go ahead and close this one out. If you love Buffy and want to comment about this episode, if you've seen the episode, just throw us down a comment. If you like the episode, give us a like, subscribe to the channel. We have so many other things on the channel that we're trying to bring you. Carrie and I are trying to go through the big batch of physical media that I have behind me. We're trying to, watch through a lot of it and talk about it on our show, Let's Get Physical. We're also going through and doing a lot of rankings with our friend James and other friends. You Ranking With Me is the show that we do. So check out all that if you like rankings and physical media and just movie reviews. I'm trying to bring other reviews to the channel as well. But if you're just here for the Buffy, that's perfectly fine too. Stay tuned. We're going to bring you more episodes. And
Arg.